Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome to your weekly tarot reading. My name is Lauren, and I am here to guide you for the energies of the upcoming week. So, as always, my intention is that the messages that I share today will reach the right person at the exact right moment that they need to hear them. And I do this with love and for the highest intention of all involved. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I do these readings every Monday to help us prepare for the week ahead. So if that's something you'd enjoy, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'd really appreciate it. And for those that have already subscribed, and for those of you who return each week, thank you so much. I am truly, truly grateful for all your likes, shares, your subscribes, your comments, etc. It really brings a lot of joy to my heart. So very grateful for you. And I just want to remind us as we move through the reading that, to take what resonates for you and leave what doesn't. This is a general reading, so it might not resonate with you, but there might be just one thing that kind of makes sense for you and the rest doesn't connect, but maybe that one thing is really important. So take it as it comes. The cards are a tool for reflection, so feel free to interpret the messages in a way that feels right for your journey. And if you see something else in the cards, for example, a symbol, color, an animal, a number, anything that speaks to you, please let me know your interpretations in the comments. I'd love to hear about your own personal views of what's coming up for you. So I will be using the Crazy Sexy Love Notes by Chris Carr just to start us off today. And then the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith deck. And then we also have The Universe Has Your Back by Gabrielle Bernstein. Although I might use another deck, I'm still not sure. But I have a feeling like I might want to pull another card from some other decks that I've got on the side here. But we'll see how it goes. So as I shuffle the cards, I'd like for you to take a deep breath, center yourself, allow yourself to be open to the guidance that the universe has in store for you this week. And I will be focusing on the energies for the week coming up as I shuffle and asking Spirit, what do we need to know? What is the guidance that will be most beneficial for us this week, for those of us that are watching this video today? And we do have our final eclipse for the season coming up on the 2nd. I believe it's on Wednesday. Oh, this is quite a lot of cards. I'm wondering if I should just go with it. Let's just go with it. I wouldn't normally take that many, but it's okay. I am happy to take them in this instance. So these are some really nice cards. I like these. So we've got Breathe Deeply. Then we have Compassion for All. We have Something Bigger is on the Way. And then we have Be Gentle with Yourself. And I feel like this Compassion card and the Be Gentle with Yourself card go hand in hand. And this is something that I actually love. Like my friends know, I will say this all the time when, it's like we have a tendency to be compassionate with other people, but sometimes it's harder for us to have that compassion for ourselves and to be gentle with ourselves. I'm sure a lot of you can relate to having that feeling of like, you hold yourself to higher standards than you do everybody else around you in your life. I know I'm guilty of that. I've done that a lot in my life where, I will really be able to see somebody else's value or understand, that everybody makes mistakes or, that kind of thing. But then when it comes to myself, for a long time, I haven't done that. I have been like a lot harder on myself than on other people. And it's something that I've worked on, and it's a lot better now than it ever was before, but it's still there. And I think that, like I said, it's something that a lot of us can just relate to. So I can definitely see that is sort of connecting there with, it's time for you to maybe just be a little bit gentle with yourself. Like something bigger is coming for you. And, you know, it is just going to be a matter of giving yourself the time, the space, the self-compassion, the love, the self-love that you need to be able to just see it through, right? To really make space for whatever it is that's coming into your life. So we've got the first card here, which is breathe deeply. And on the back, it says, breathe big. Let it all in. Expand your fabulous belly. Who cares if your jeans feel too tight? Here's an idea by Arumia Pear. Deep, full breaths invigorate you. They release sadness and allow ecstasy to flood in. Pause. Inhale a long, slow, big, delicious breath. Exhale. Remember, whenever the going gets tough, take a deep breath and trust that you are capable of greatness. I love taking a nice deep breath sometimes. Just to center yourself, to feel a little bit more grounded, to feel a bit more connected in your body, especially if you're feeling particularly stressed out. It can really, really help. Those of you that have done breath work in the past will know like how amazing it is at transforming how you feel within your physical body. So if that's something that maybe you've been called to right now, I would definitely recommend that. There's some breathwork tutorials on YouTube that you can even check out if you're not sure where to start. So the next card we've got is compassion for all. And on the back it says, compassion is the beating heart of all spiritual practices. The peace you seek comes from the peace you create. Extend your compassion to all beings today, including yourself. Everyone benefits when you are kind. May all beings be happy and free. What a beautiful sentiment. And I'm particularly noting that everyone not that part. Extend your compassion to all beings today, including yourself. And I already mentioned that because we've got this be gentle with yourself card here. So if you have recently found yourself being a little bit harsher on yourself than you would like to be, and you can sense that it's kind of not serving you anymore, it's definitely time to let that go and to be a little bit more loving and caring and considerate and compassionate towards yourself. And there's a strong message about that here. So something bigger is on the way. Allow your vision to expand and be open to the form it takes. You may discover that you were dreaming too small, or that what seemed like an obstacle is actually pointing you in a better direction. The universe always has your back. Isn't that just the truth? So if there's something that you've kind of been wanting to bring forward, but it hasn't kind of been manifesting for you, and you may be feeling a little bit stuck in that aspect, maybe let go of the vision that you had for what it is that you thought you wanted to call in, right? This could be a relationship, this could be a job, this could be a home, anything like that. You know, sometimes when things don't work out the way we want them to, it's because there's something better that's trying to take place. So if we have too much of a specific vision in mind for what it is that we're trying to create, we can actually block our blessings from coming in, you know? So this card says, take your foot off the gas and don't push yourself so hard. If you need to rest, then take a break. The world won't fall apart if you nap. Renew, dear one. You are a treasure. Be gentle with yourself. So you could be burning the candle at both ends, which I am incredibly familiar with. And if you've watched my previous videos, you know that I have my sort of inner journey coming up for the next 3 months, because I was definitely not doing that. So if you can relate, you know, maybe it's time to take a step back. And we are getting towards the end of the year. This is the time when people really start feeling a little bit burnt out. You know, we're kind of gearing up towards Christmas and New Year's and all of those things. And even though it's 3 months away, it goes so quickly. And by this time of year, you know, I think people generally just feel a little bit drained. So if that's you, then I think you're being encouraged quite strongly here to take a break. And we have the 10 of Cups coming out. Isn't that amazing? And then we also have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. We've got the High Priestess and the 6 of Cups in reverse. What is going on here? Isn't this interesting energy? So there's definitely an indication that there is a bigger lesson coming in here. There's something that's trying to make its way to you intuitively with the High Priestess. You know, this is kind of a call for you to step back into, I'm getting that sense of it's time to step back into that feminine energy, right? The feminine energy, and we all have male and feminine, masculine and feminine energy within us. I'm really struggling to speak today, guys. I'm so sorry. That we all have that masculine and that feminine energy within us. And the masculine energy is very much do, go, make things happen, really push forward for, you know, kind of trying to create our reality, whereas the feminine is kind of the opposite of that. And it is about allowing things to kind of take place and to take shape in the way that they are meant to. Just a natural unfoldment of the process of life instead of a forceful push forward, right? And both of those things are important. I mean, I'm looking here at the black and the white pillars in the background. You know, these can represent a lot of different things, but I'm being reminded of yin and yang energy, which is masculine and feminine energy. They are both interconnected with one another, and they are both inside each other. So if you're familiar with Jung's work, then you'll know a little bit more about, you know, the anima and the animus, which is the masculine within the feminine and the feminine within the masculine sort of energy. So I'm getting that sense that maybe this is a call to return a bit more to the feminine aspect, because maybe there is a little bit of imbalance. And I'm even seeing, you know, the number 2 denotes balance. It is, as you can see, it's 2 next to each other. They even, you know, it's kind of building back up on this pillar theme that we have going, that balance, right? It's a very balanced number and it's balanced energy. So there's a potential that maybe we need to return to that balance a little bit, right? Because maybe we've gotten a little bit off track, and you are being called to return inwards again, to get back in touch with the sacred knowledge of yourself, the sacred knowledge of your soul. Or this could even just be an indication of it's time to start doing a little bit more research about, you know, esoteric subjects, or just basically your own spirituality, your own kind of divineness within yourself. Maybe it is time to take a peek behind the proverbial curtain. I mean, we've got this curtain here in the background, and I'm looking as well now that we've got this moon, we've got the moon symbols. So, you know, this eclipse season has been, I feel like it's been quite intense for a lot of people. I've kind of been seeing this theme with everybody, and not just with the eclipse. I think the eclipse has just highlighted it, but I think with the current astrological climate of this year in the last few months, I think a lot of people have been having old patterns, old themes, old sort of things that we thought we dealt with, and maybe we kind of packed it away because we didn't want to look at it anymore, but it's coming back and saying, you know what, this, you haven't actually dealt with me properly. Like, I'm still here. I am still, even though you think I'm in the past, I am not in the past. I am actually still wanting to come back up and be expressed, to be felt. You know, this could be childhood things that happen when you were quite young. So it could even be patterns from your youth that maybe you really have to go back and have a deeper look at them. And often through the process of manifestation, our shadow, it's so important for us to be able to release in order for us to actually be able to shift out of our previous version of ourselves, right? The past version of ourselves and the person that we used to be. Because our shadows, our unconscious shadows, are what hold us back from becoming like I said, the elevated version of ourselves, because we hold ourselves. It's fear. It is fear of what other people think. It's shame. There's guilt that goes in with that. There's a lot of that kind of stuff that kind of comes up with shadow, right? It's a little bit more complicated than that. You can do a little bit more research if you're not familiar with shadow work, but it's just the concept that these are things about ourselves that we reject about ourselves, and then we kind of deny within ourselves. So what are some things within yourself that maybe you have been denying? What are some truths that you don't necessarily want to look at? And can you be compassionate with yourself? If there is something that, maybe you are embarrassed about this thing, you feel a lot of shame around it, is it something that you can embrace about yourself? Can you be gentle with yourself? Especially if you have things that maybe it's an issue that you kind of know you've had for a long time, and it is starting to kind of affect your relationships. And maybe it's been brought to your attention recently, or maybe something's happened and it's kind of been highlighted for you. And that can trigger a lot of shame, right? But it's being brought to your attention so that you can heal it, so that you can kind of become aware of what's actually going on for you, because that's the only way that we can often absolve something within ourselves or resolve something within ourselves and actually transmute that into something way more, amazing and beautiful. But we first, it starts with recognition. It starts with actually being aware that we even have this thing within us, right? And sometimes it might just be on the periphery. It's like oftentimes we'll do things and then know kind of that we're doing it. I don't know if you've had this experience, but I'm sure I'm not the only one, but I've definitely had that experience before where I have done something, and as I'm doing the thing, there's a part of me that's going what are you doing? Why are you doing this thing? But there's a greater part of me that's just kind of going la 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 la. I'm not looking, I'm not paying attention. And then afterwards it's like waking up from a dream and going, what the hell? Why did I do that thing again? Right? Those are our patterns. That's our conditioning speaking. That's things that are kind of so deeply buried within our subconscious mind that even if the conscious mind does kind of see it, it is a process to be able to then move towards changing that. The process starts with awareness, because as soon as you're aware that you have something, then you can start witnessing it, then you can start taking steps to slowly try to resolve that, right? But if you don't even know that it's happening, there's nothing you can do about it. So I feel like, again, there is this something big that's trying to come into your life. I mean, how amazing is this? That we have confirmation that there's something bigger on the way here. I mean, this 10 of Cups, and it's interesting for me. It's both of these images, there are people who are looking towards something. They're looking toward the horizon. They're looking out. We're seeing them from behind here, and they are joyful. They've got their arms outstretched. They're open to possibility. They are excited about, what's coming, what is on the horizon. It's not maybe there yet, but it is definitely on the horizon. It's it's almost there. It is on its way. 10 is a number of the ending of a cycle. So that's something that we will see when we are coming towards completion, but we're not 100% there yet. So this is kind of okay, we've put in all the hard work. We've done everything that we needed to do from our side, and the reward is coming, right? The reward is on its way. Spirit is saying, don't worry, I have got you. I am going to bring in your blessings. I'm going to bring in your manifestations for you. Just keep on going. Just keep on, doing the best that you can for yourself to really remain in that sort of compassionate, high vibrational, self-loving. Because remember, it doesn't help if you are trying to hold the energy in the space of love, and you can hold the love and the compassion for everybody else around you. But if you don't feel like that about yourself, you're still not going to be in that vibration that to match the energy of receiving, because the energy of receiving is one that you're connected into the universe. You tapped in. I went for such a beautiful walk today. I am pet sitting at the moment, and I am in this beautiful part of South Africa called Hart Bay, and it's surrounded by mountains, and it's in like a very green sort of area, and there's, I'm looking out over the bay, and it's just really, really gorgeous. And I took the dogs for a walk today, and I was looking out at the mountains and the trees and the beautiful blue sky. It rained as well while we were on the walk, which was also really fun. And I kind of had this experience when I was looking out, and I thought to myself, well, maybe I don't have everything just yet that I want. Like, I don't have all the money that I want in the world. I don't have certain things that are kind of on my manifestation list, but it doesn't mean that I don't have anything. I am so blessed to just be looking out, seeing all this beauty around me in the world, and knowing that like it's right there for me. It's available to me right now because I'm witnessing it in that moment, right? It's already there. And that's kind of what they always talk about in manifestation practices as well, that concept of like feeling that you already have the thing that you want, right? Being so connected into the universe and into the flow of things, and knowing that there's nothing that you're lacking. It's just not in the current space and reality that you may be in right now. Maybe you don't have the money, but you have food on the table, right? You have friends that are willing to invite you over for dinner or give you a ride somewhere so that you don't have to worry about paying for, fuel or something like that. I know that sounds kind of silly, but there's so many different forms of abundance. And I think sometimes that we just forget, right, that there are different forms and different things that we can be rich in. So today I felt quite rich in the sense of I'm surrounded by immense beauty right now, and I feel really grateful for that. So even if there's that, I'm actually laughing now. I'm just thinking I was talking about the walk with the dog, and then I just saw, this person's actually walking their dog. So it's quite a funny little nice synchronicity there. But I just feel like this is like a really beautiful confirmation, right? To just give yourself the compassion and the space that you need right now. Keep reminding yourself that you are worthy of everything that you want. That's the other thing, right? There's so much to be said about, do we believe that we actually deserve the things that we're trying to call into our life? Maybe we do just need to take a really deep breath and then get back in touch with ourselves and understand that we truly are a divine being. We truly are worthy just by existing. We don't have to do anything else other than exist in this world for us to be worthy and deserving of all of the riches that the universe has to offer, right? Nobody ever said that we have to earn it necessarily. Maybe there are certain things we need to work towards, yes, of course, but you don't have to earn the right to be here. You don't have to earn the right to live and love and, all of those amazing things that come so freely and naturally to us. Things that we can choose to experience instead of things that we feel like we have to maybe work towards. It's things that we automatically have access to just by being human. And I think, again, we sometimes take those things for granted, right? I'm guilty of this as well. But, in the upright Six of Cups, the universe is offering us a gift, right? This little boy is giving the girl a little gift, and sometimes people interpret that as the universe giving us a gift, right? This is an innocent, pure, unadulterated, sort of, what's the word that I'm looking for? Like generosity, right? This is like giving from the heart, straight from the heart. There's no, I'll give you and you'll give me. There's no expectation of getting something back. This is a genuine gift of love. And this is what the universe gives us, right? Again, just by simply being alive, the gift of life itself is one that there isn't really an expectation for us to return anything. We just get to exist. Nobody's saying, okay, well, at the end of your life contract, you need to have collected X amount of money, you have to have so many houses, so many cars, or you need to have like done certain things, right? There's none of that. We get to come here and we kind of just get to exist and experience life in all its immense challenge and beauty, right? It's both ends of the spectrum. So I know it can sometimes feel as though it's a little bit of a slog, right, to make it in this life. But I think that there is also so much that we can be genuinely grateful for that doesn't actually cost money. Again, I'm looking at this Queen of Pentacles. It's like, maybe because these cards are both in reverse, maybe we are struggling to see what the actual, like, the blessings that we have right in front of us right now. The real riches that we already have in our lives, things that are not related to money. So this could be, maybe you have a really amazing family. Maybe you really genuinely have like this beautiful family. They really make you feel special. Maybe you have a genuine companion in the form of an animal, or maybe, I don't know, if you have a pet or something like that. Maybe you just have a best friend and you guys get along really, really well, and they're like your chosen family, right? And you kind of spend a lot of time together. Or maybe it's your partner, or it could be anybody that you have a connection with, right? That really makes you feel super loved. It can be that you live in a really beautiful place, or maybe there's something that you have access to that's kind of such a beautiful, abundant thing, but sometimes you forget how valuable that thing actually is to you. Like, it's kind of maybe a stupid example, but I think if you were somebody who grew up maybe in like an orange, or like an orchard, and you had access to oranges your whole life, and you kind of were like, oh, don't care about oranges anymore. But then other people come to your part of the world where you live just to come and eat those oranges because they're like the best oranges in the world. But for you, you're kind of like, oh, I'm over oranges. Maybe it's time to shift your perspective and really see what it is that you actually already have access to, that maybe you're just taking it for granted. You're just not seeing the abundance. You're not seeing all the blessings that you already have. And I love, one of my favorite people in the world, in terms of someone who's really good at seeing this, is Louise Hay. And she's got an affirmation where she talks about like everything, things that you wouldn't ordinarily think about, right? Like the fact that we have plumbing in our modern homes, that we have flushing toilets, most of us, like a lot of people in the world don't, but for the most part, if you're living in a fairly modern household, you have access to flushing toilets, you have access to water, you have access to electricity, all of those kinds of things. If you're watching this, you have access to the internet. So those are things that are considered modern miracles, right? A couple hundred years ago, people didn't have these things. I mean, when I was growing up, we didn't even have access to the internet for the first few years of my life. And now we just take it for granted, right? So like, these things are modern miracles. So if we really genuinely start to open up our eyes and look around us and really, really think about the way that we move through this life, we will start to see how much we truly have to be grateful for. And when we have that gratitude, when we can start to be grateful for everything that already is, not only do we already feel abundant, but it also helps to bring our abundance in faster. It helps to bring in our manifestations at a much faster rate, because we match the vibrational energy, right? It ups our frequency so that we can actually be in alignment with the beautiful blessings that life has to offer us. And again, manifestations, having a goal, having something that you're trying to manifest in your life is a wonderful thing, because obviously we all need things that we're trying to work towards. And that is par for the course. That's how human beings operate. Like, we are creatures that are like powered by dopamine, right? So that's kind of the part of the process. But ultimately, it doesn't help us to be completely obsessed with that so much to the point that we forget about our present moment, right? So when we are so obsessed with the future, we can't actually live in the present moment, can't actually enjoy our current experience in this life, because we are so worried about all the things we don't have, all the things that haven't come yet. What are we going to do in the future? What are we working towards? We don't have it yet. That completely steals away the joy from today and from all of the blessings that we already have in our life that is so abundant for us. So maybe it really is time for us to do a deeper dive, to move back into ourselves, to really go back into that place of inner connection, inner sacred connection with the universe, to really tap into our appreciation and our joy for everything that we already have in our lives that's so sacred and so beautiful, right? And then through that experience, offer ourselves up to the universe and allow the opportunities and the things that it wants to gift us and it wants to offer us. It wants to bring that abundance into our life. Allow it to come in. This is such a super positive reading. Like, all of these cards, like, so far there hasn't been a single card that I'm going like, wow, that's like, oh, that's a little bit like, how do I say this in a nice way? No, like, they're all really positive. Okay, we've got some reversals, but that's not like the end of the world. It's not, I don't read reversals like that, so I just feel like there is something really, really beautiful coming through here. And like, this is such a positive reading. So this is, I'm loving this. And like, even on the back of the deck, we have the Four of Wands here, which is also just such a positive card. Like, it's all about success, and it's all about these amazing things that, okay, but again, it's like, it's almost there. It's not quite there 100%, but we can see it in the distance, right? So I think, again, that's a message for us to just remember as well, to keep our future that we're trying to manifest in view. So have it there kind of as our goalpost, but not to lose sight of everything that we already have in our lives, the beauty that already exists. And that is, kind of making me think of this card as well, where it's saying, let everything in. Remember, slow down and take a little bit of time to really smell the rose. I know that's like a tulip or something, but to genuinely enjoy the moment, to really genuinely get tapped into the present moment and enjoy what is already here, instead of being so caught up in the future that you feel like there's something missing at all times, right? So easy for us to get wrapped into that. But then also not to beat yourself up about this. If you have been doing that, just be gentle. And like, especially if something hasn't come yet and maybe you've been working at it for a long time and you feel like, oh, I've been trying and I'm just not getting there. So like, what is wrong with me, or what am I not doing well enough that is kind of blocking this thing from coming into me? Don't do that. Just be patient and know that everything comes in its right time. That it is on its way. It is so, so close to you. It is really genuinely just around the corner. So don't give up hope. Sorry, the dogs are just busy growling in the back here. If you heard that, I'm so sorry. I'm going to pull us an affirmation card and see what wants to come out. This is like getting multiple cards today, which is fine. It says, I always trust the direction of the universe and I know that I am being guided. Sorry, just 1 second. Okay, my faith has the power to turn trauma into healing, conflict into growth, and fear into love. Isn't that beautiful? You know, just to think about how you genuinely can transform everything within your life just depending on how you want to view it. Is it something that you want to look at through the lens of your past and all the things that happened to you, you know, when you were a child, things that happened to you, you know, a couple of years ago? Just give yourself a little bit of grace, you know, like you did the best that you could at the time that you had that experience, and you're a different person now, and you can kind of start to move away from that now, but you did the best that you could back then. It's time to stop beating yourself up about that if that is something that you are doing, you know. Just have the faith and the belief that everything that you want is just around the corner. That is what Spirit is telling us strongly here in this message. And again, to just have that trust, to know that you are being guided by the universe, that you genuinely have the guidance and the support of the universe, of Spirit, you know. So I am so pleased with this reading. I think this is such a beautiful reading, and I'm so excited to see what is going to come for this for all of us. So please let me know in the comments if you get the sense that there is something big on the way. Is there something that you're trying to manifest and working towards? Is it something that, you know, you can already see taking shape in the distance? I'd love to hear about it. I'd love to share in your success. So please do let me know. And, you know, if there's anything else that resonates in the reading with you, I'd love to hear about it. But for now, just remember, be gentle with yourself. Give yourself lots and lots of love. And I am sending you lots and lots of love as well. Wishing you a beautiful week ahead and many, many blessings. I will see you next time. Bye.